Well, folks, today we're going to try to accomplish what we didn't. I've been doing a little bit of welding up on top, kind of trying to get this thing all buttoned up. Kind of went through my very first consumable, which, I don't know, if we shine in the light right, can you see? I don't even know. Whatever it takes, you must be somewhere around there while we venture. You can kind of see the little speck that was in there. Anyways, that's kind of all it takes. Maybe you can, nah, I don't know. It's about all it takes to screw up one of those. So I think when I was welding on there, and some of it was a little rusty, I was just trying it. When it does splatter, like the particles kind of come off of it, it can shoot up into there, and I think that's what caught it. So, you know, so far, it's not bothering me, so I don't know. It's probably gonna stay. We're gonna do a little bit of cleanup. I'd like to try to weld a little more into here. That side's not as nice, but we'll fill it up. I won't be able to do any of that with the laser, so we're gonna do that with the MIG welder. So that is what we are gonna do. But anyways, this thing's like, it is our back window. So we're gonna move on to, we got the panel board. We have some carpet runner, and somewhere out there I have some insulation I'm gonna use for the floor. So we're pretty much gonna get into that right away. That is the plan. I want to do that. Show you over here. Damien did his first paint job on his truck, so it actually, I don't know, it looks pretty good for what it is for an S10. But we kind of did the old thing. We did the blanket. We did this off on this one side. We threw some, what do you call it? Some fans into a bucket of water, which actually seemed to work really, really well. Anyways, he went with the flat black choice. Well, we kind of pushed him that way. His body work is, you know, it's getting there. He's got a ways to go, but at least that way it looks pretty cherry. Looks really nice. Anyways, I guess we're gonna get started. First things first, we're gonna do the door panels. I don't know if I'm gonna do any up. Yeah, maybe we'll do some vinyl on it or figure something out. We'll see what I have upstairs. But because we're gonna go with the gray. This one's going. Everything about it's gray, other than, well, this is what we're using for the floor, which is going to be, like I said, some carpet runner, but it's rubber backed, so that makes it perfect. So we're going to have to figure out how I'm going to mold that stuff around, but yeah. All right, let's get started with the panels. I think I already traced out my one, and we're going to do both of them on, once I do the one panel, we're going to do the second panel. So I believe on this side, there we go, I have my traced out pattern, so I'm gonna do a loose cut, and then we'll just take it over to the bandsaw, because that's honestly the nicest way to cut that. Yeah, I might just run the skill saw really quick across it as a rough cut, and then we'll use the bandsaw to do a nice cut on there. Well, all the door cards are, I call them door cards, door panels. We made the door panels, we made the kick panels. I made just some simple fill panels. I'll probably just screw them into place. All this is, eventually it'd be nice to have like, you know, an access so we can store stuff. But for now, it's just to keep the car warm. That's my plan. That's why I just made these simple panels. I'll figure a way to fasten them on yet. They're not a necessity. We're gonna move on to doing the insulation for the floor. For the panels yet, my plan is to, those little Christmas tree buttons I'm gonna drill so we can actually have a push-in panel and we don't have a bunch of screws exposed everywhere. Kind of got into that habit and I kind of like it. So there's a bunch of pre-done holes in here, so I'm gonna try to line up with a bunch of those, and that way, like I say, there's little, I don't know, Christmas tree things? I don't know. I'll show you what I'm talking about. They're like plastic push-in buttons. That's, I don't know, a lot of the modern cars have something similar to that, so I just get a big bag of them from our little auto body supply place. All right, they look like these things here. So we'll drill holes, get these all ready, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. I don't know, I feel I gotta two-tone it. I don't know if I'm gonna like put any actual padding in the door or anything like that. I think instead of just one, so I always have to break up the colors a little bit. So I'm gonna see what I have for gray, but I think we're just gonna stitch a simple, you know, maybe come from the dash, come down, come back, maybe do black on the bottom, gray on top, sort of gray similar to that. I think that would be okay, because then, yeah, if that goes there, then that means we can do the bottom kick panels as black. That's as black, gray up top. I want to scuff and shoot these things, a similar paint that I used on the dash. So, I don't know, should clean up the interior pretty nice. Anyways, first things first, I want to get that insulation down on the floor, and we're going to get our carpet in, do that stuff, and then that'll kind of fancy up the bottom of the car here. look at that. Got our carpet is all in. I think the only thing we got to do now is actually make some sill plates because there's nothing to hold this stuff down. I don't have anything, so pretty much just going to make something. I'm going to trim up this underlay, carpet, whatever you want to call it. But carpet's in. It's not perfect, but it'll work. I'm going to get something else just to put onto the firewall yet, just to do a little bit of, I don't know, so much sound deadening, but just more insulation. I'm not going to make a headliner, but I'm going to get some, I had some material that I've used in the past. I'll have to pick some up. It's like a peel and stick, just to use as a sound deadening / insulation. And well, in the back, like I said, I made these panels. They don't do much of anything, but anyways, these are not too bad. I'm gonna go hunt around, find some floor mats. We'll have to bolt up some stuff here yet, but until we get these all done, I'm not gonna worry too much about it. I'm not gonna get too crazy with the door panels yet, only because we don't have the glass and I'm still waiting for the rubber for it. So we got a waiting game for that. But between now and then, I'm gonna see what I have for vinyl that I can do on these doors. I'm gonna make a slight little mark because we're gonna kind of go with the dash. That'll be this gray or whatever I have that's like that. And we'll probably just cut it across the door or do something. It's kind of my thought. That way we can break everything up. Well, we got a little splash of paint on here. Nothing spectacular, but it at least matches the dash. That's what we're shooting for. Taped up whatever a feller could, and that's just kind of how we're doing it. Anyways, over on this front, we did our door panels. I opted to just do it, screw them on, because they don't have any padding to hide anything, so it's just gone round stapled, and the goal is going to be, I'm going to get some of the screws with those fancy little washers, and we'll just put a bunch around there. It'll be fine for what it is. Got there, we got our kick panels. Can't really see them, but they're all done. And I wasn't going to do anything really behind the seats, so this is just kind of as it is. Don't think there's too much else to do as far as the interior panel. I can't put anything really together as of yet because I just don't have my glass, and my rubber is supposed to be in a little while. So the one thing I guess we can do while we're waiting is I still have some random aluminum chunks from there, so I think I'll cut and make a couple sill plates just so we can at least clamp in this carpet. And then somewhere I have some rubber that I can use for some floor mats yet, which I think there's a whole bunch right here. So we'll put a couple of those down, and we're just about done our interior side of things as far as we can get. I think I have some armrests, but they're not in great shape, but we're probably still going to put them on there, but may as well wait till my glass comes in before we attempt to do all of that stuff. So we'll see how well this stuff all fares in here. This can only work so well because of that where our brake thing is. We have to step around all of that, so we'll have to build a little step through on there, but at least it'll hold our carpet or our floor mat in a nice place. Well, it sure wasn't for lack of trying. This one, I don't know. I did something wrong. I had to lead in and out, which then caused me to lose my centers. Even then, I still had to tweak it, and it didn't quite go well, but it's good enough. So we lost the middle of our D. That's about the only thing, but yeah, I struggle with letters on the plasma table. Anyways, got it in. That is done. So we got our sill in. There's not too much else I can do until I get my glass as far as the inside goes. So I'm thinking that's about as far as we're getting this around here. Oops. Just struggling here with these without the stuff on them. Anyways, door closed. I can still see it. So we got both sides done. They're in, well, as good as it is. Carpet's in at least anyways, holding it down. All that jazz is in place. Pretty happy with that. Got our mats in. I just got to order the stuff up that I want to use for my headliner. I don't know if I have any. I don't think so. I've used it on something already. It's kind of like under hood stuff. It's really thick, nice and thick, and it's got that, like this kind of a look on the outside, but I don't really care. I just want it for the roof. Not so much sound deadening, but just to keep a little more heat in that sucker. Anyways, I don't know. I guess that's about where we got. So I got door panels are, I would say 95% done. We just got to do some armrests, which I do have. The one is in really bad shape. So this is the one armrest. But I mean, you know, overall, even if I don't have the padding and we just have the steel bit, at least I can pull the door closed and whatnot. I seen the other one in here somewhere. Here it is. This one's in a little nicer shape. Not the best, but it's better than nothing. So that will eventually go onto the door as well. Once we get our glass, get that all settled up. So yeah, we are pretty much on home stretch. I think the last thing I'm going to do, or the next round what we're going to do, is fix up a little bit of this rust. Hopefully my glass is done and the rubber's in, but if not, I don't know. We'll find something else to do, that's for sure. But yeah, I believe next round I want to deal with some of this rust down here and over there and a few things like that. We have a few things left to wire inside. I've been pickling my, whatever you want to call it, wiper motor thing, but buddy of mine mentioned you should be putting brake fluid in there, which totally makes sense because that should swell everything up. So I'll see if it comes back to life anyways next round, just to see, whatever, we have wipers, so I don't have to try to retrofit something electric onto it. I don't mind the vacuum, they work for what I need it to do, but yeah. Anyways, we're slowly getting there. Just got a little bit of rust and some dents to fix, and I guess I'll have to seal up some of this. I did finish welding this. I'm kind of feel like I'm pretty committed. We'll just have to do a little buff over these and a little splooge of seam sealer, and I think we'll be pretty good with that. Anyways, on that note, I think that is where we are going to leave this one. So, as always, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Later.